In a small village, surrounded by thick forest, lived a humble couple, Ayodele and Bimpe. For many years, they prayed for children, and finally, their prayers were answered. They were blessed with twins, a boy and a girl. Overjoyed, they named the boy Jojo and the girl Ajaja. To them, the names sounded beautiful and unique, but they never knew the true meaning behind those names. Jojo meant darkness, and Ajaja meant doomed. From the moment they were born, strange things began to happen in the village. The night of their birth was stormy, unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. Thunder rolled, the sky was pitch black, and no stars shone. Many said the night felt cursed, but no one understood why. As Jojo and Ajaja grew older, their parents noticed that the children were different. Jojo was always quiet. His deep, dark eyes seemed to see beyond what was normal. Wherever he went, shadows seemed to follow. Even in the daylight, there was something eerie about him, as if he brought a sense of darkness with him. Ajaja, on the other hand, was more playful, but there was something disturbing about her laughter. It echoed in strange ways, and sometimes people felt cold shivers when they heard her giggle. Her presence often made others uncomfortable, as though something invisible knocked around her. As they grew, their strange powers began to show. One day, when the twins were just 6 years old, a group of children teased them for being weird. Ajaja's smile faded, and her eyes turned cold. Suddenly, the sky darkened, and without warning, a strong wind swept through the village, knocking the bunnies to the ground. The wind whispered their names, Jojo and Ajaja, and the terrified children ran home crying. The twins were alone like other children. Jojo had the power to control the shadows and the darkness itself. He could move silently, disappearing into shadows, and at night, strange figures would be seen near him, as if he summoned them from another world. Ajaja's powers were even more terrifying. Wherever she went, doom followed. People would feel uneasy, animals would flee, and objects would move on their own. Once, when a neighbor insulted their family, Ajaja simply stared at him. The next day, the man fell mysteriously ill, unable to speak or move. The villagers whispered that Ajaja had cursed him. Ayodele and Bimpe were now frightened. They loved their children, but they couldn't ignore the strange events surrounding them. They decided to take them to a hyena in a nearby town, hoping for answers, but the hyena, upon hearing their names, shook his head in fear. "These children are marked," he said gravely. "Their names, Jojo means darkness, and Ajaja means doomed. Their powers come from forces beyond this world, and no human can stop it." Desperate, the parents took the twins to a priest, hoping prayer would cleanse them. But as soon as the priest started praying, the candles in the room blew out, and the air turned freezing cold. Jojo's eyes glowed faintly, and the priest's voice trembled. The shadows in the room seemed to move on their own, and Ajaja's soft giggle echoed, sending chills down the priest's spine. These children are beyond 7, the priest whispered. Their fate was sealed the moment they were named. As Jojo and Ajaja grew older, their powers became stronger. Jojo could command the darkness, bending it to his will. No one dared cross him, for fear of being swallowed by the shadows. Ajaja, with her power to bring misfortune, was feared by all. People avoided looking directly at her, afraid that even a glance might bring disaster. But despite their terrifying powers, Jojo and Ajaja protected their family. They saved the innocent but punished the wicked without mercy. Villagers who dared to harm others would wake up to find their homes filled with shadows or their lives suddenly cursed with bad luck. Their parents, though still afraid, came to accept that their children were not like others. Jojo and Ajaja were forces of nature, born in darkness and destined to walk the path of doom. They were feared by the village but respected. No one knew what the future held for the twins, but one thing was certain: Jojo and Ajaja were not ordinary. They were born of darkness, and wherever they went, the shadows and misfortune would always follow.